The house stood at the edge of the forest where the road forgot its name and the wind carried whispers instead of dust. It had been empty for years, or at least that is what people in the nearby town claimed. Windows stared outward like blind eyes, and the wooden door hung slightly open, breathing with every gust of cold air. When Aaron arrived, the sky was already bleeding into dusk, and the forest behind the house seemed to lean closer, as if eager to listen. Aaron had come looking for silence. His life had become too loud with memories he did not want, and this forgotten house promised isolation. The floor creaked under his boots as he stepped inside, the sound echoing far deeper than the space allowed. The air smelled of rot and something older, something that reminded him of damp soil after a grave was disturbed. He told himself it was only his imagination, fed by the stories he had heard as a child. He explored the rooms slowly, touching the walls to steady himself. Furniture lay broken and scattered, as if a struggle had once taken place and never truly ended. In the living room, a cracked mirror leaned against the wall. When Aaron passed by it, he felt an odd pull and turned back. His reflection lagged behind his movement, just for a moment, then snapped back into place. He laughed nervously and blamed the poor light. Night settled quickly, swallowing the forest and pressing against the house from all sides. Aaron lit a small lantern he had brought, its glow weak but comforting. As he sat on the floor, unpacking his things, he heard a soft sound from upstairs. It was not a footstep exactly, more like fingernails brushing against wood. He froze, holding his breath, listening. The sound stopped, replaced by silence so heavy it made his ears ring. He told himself that old houses make noises, that animals could wander in. Still, sleep refused to come. When he finally lay down, the darkness behind his closed eyes felt crowded. He dreamed of standing in the mirror, trapped behind the glass, watching something else wear his face. A sudden knock jolted him awake. The lantern flickered violently, shadows twisting into shapes that almost looked human. The knock came again, not from the door, but from the walls themselves. Aaron stood, heart pounding, and whispered for whoever it was to leave. His voice sounded too foreign in the air, like it did not belong to him. From upstairs, a slow dragging sound began, followed by a low whisper. He could not make out the words, but the voice sounded familiar. It sounded like his own. Against every instinct, he climbed the stairs, each step protesting loudly. At the top, the hallway stretched longer than it should have, doors lining both sides like silent witnesses. One door at the end stood open. Inside was a bedroom untouched by decay. The bed was neatly made, and the mirror above the dresser was spotless. As Aaron approached, the whisper grew clearer. It was calling his name, repeating it with growing desperation. When he stood before the mirror, he saw himself staring back, eyes wide with fear. Then the reflection smiled. The smile was wrong, stretching too far, revealing teeth that seemed too sharp. The reflection raised a hand and pressed it against the glass. Aaron felt a cold pressure on his own palm, as if the mirror were no longer a barrier. The room darkened, and the whisper became a scream. Images flooded his mind. He saw the house alive with people, laughter turning into panic, shadows tearing through flesh. He saw himself standing among them, not as a victim, but as something else. Something hungry. The truth settled in his chest like a stone. He had not come to the house by chance. The house had called him back. With a violent pull, the reflection dragged Aaron forward. The glass rippled like water, and the world flipped. He fell, choking, into darkness. When he opened his eyes, he was standing inside the mirror, looking out at the room. On the other side, the thing wearing his body straightened, smoothing its clothes, testing its smile. It turned toward the stairs and walked away, leaving Aaron pounding silently against the glass. The house seemed to sigh in satisfaction, its walls humming softly. Dawn broke outside, light filtering through dusty windows. From the road, the house looked just as empty as before. In the town nearby, people would later say they saw a man walking out of the forest, pale but smiling, asking simple questions about buses and cities. No one noticed how his reflection in shop windows sometimes moved on its own, or how mirrors in their homes began to crack. And in the house at the edge of the forest, a new figure screamed soundlessly from behind the glass, trapped forever, while the house waited patiently for the next soul to wander too close. Nightfall Horror.